What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone, everyone, everyone? It is another day, another time, and another week for Real Talk Monday. You all, I am ecstatic on tonight. I have a good friend, a legend in the building with us on tonight. You all, none other than Mr. Josh Miles. How you doing, my man?
Man, doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. All right, y'all. We're gonna start it off with a little bit of the theme song, and then we're gonna get right in and ask him some of these questions. As the theme song is playing, you all like and share and invite people in. Let's go. What is up? What is up? What is up? You all, you all, you all. It is another day, another time, and another week for We'll Talk Monday.
What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What's up with you? What is up? What is up? What is up? It's only up from here. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let's go. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real talk. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real talk. Monday. Tune in to Real Talk Monday with Reverend James H. Glover III, a godly show that keeps it real.
All right, y'all. All right. So let's go on and get into these questions. So, Josh, man, first off, we want to thank you for being on tonight. We know that you are a very busy man. So the fact that you agreed to come on, we thank God that you are willing to help us out with that. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor.
Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem. All right. So let's go on to these questions. So first questions that we have for you on tonight is when I say the word quartet, what is the first thing to come to your mind?
Art, music. Uh, that's the first thing come to my mind. Maybe for most folk, first thing come to their mind will be four.
Mhm. Yeah,
But yeah, quartet music, quartet music. And when I hear the name quartet, it's a factory down here called Quartet. And I used to hear them talk about quartet. I thought they were talking about music when I was a kid. So that when I hear the word quartet, I think music.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. So, who were some of your biggest influences in quartet music? Like, as far as music, who were some of your biggest influences?
Personally or period.
Period.
Well, uh, just about every major quartet, I'm going to say. And so I just call out some names. I won't, because if I say every major, I guess that's a broad spectrum. But I guess throughout most of the history, if you fall back to, I guess where my uh, what adds the texture to my sound or what I like, you go back to Fairfield Ford, Dixie Hummingbird, and Sam Cooke. You know, just moving up the line. Cats like Willie Neal Johnson, the
Definitely.
Williams brothers. Uh, of course, Harvey Watkins in the Kansas Picture was George Dean, gospel folk. Uh, I mean, I could keep. I will be naming names to probably next week, but uh, I'm just. I've been immersed in this. I grew up in this. My daddy and his brothers had a quartet, the Sons of Wonder, from Friar Point, Mississippi. Uh, and they knew singing. They know singing, and they taught us singing. Well, my sister made us sing, but you know, my influence from quartet is very very broad. So that's it on that.
I feel that. I feel that. So, how did you get started singing? Like, what was your like first start as far as singing?
Just around the house, man. We used to get together. My dad would get us together in the living room. He had an acoustic guitar, and he'd play. and we sang, and he made us harmonize. He taught us harmony, and that's my start. My uncle Marvin and his kids had a group, the Miles family. They still have that group. Matter of fact, they're coming out with a record soon with Miles House. They cut with me, and but he, my uncle gave me uh, my first stage appearance with them, and so from there, I guess you could say I was hooked.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Once you get it, you're hooked on it. It's like once you get bit by it, you can't
Oh
get
yeah,
enough of it.
yes sir. Ain't nothing like it, man.
No, not at all. So my next question to you would be Mouse House Productions. How did you come up with that? How did that get started?
Uh, well, I just always had that zeal. My cousin Earl Miles in Memphis, Tennessee, did a lot of recording early in the back in the 80s, 90s, probably some of the 70s too. Um, him and George McClain
Right.
from Memphis, Tennessee, Memphis Harmonizers. George McClain had E&J Records, and my cousin Earl had Voice Records, and they still operate today. But we used to go and hang out, check out the studio and stuff, and then he uh, recorded a record on my sister and stuff. So just the experience of being in a studio and being around this stuff, I just felt like that was something I wanted to do. They would ask you in school if you what you wanted to be, and folks wanted to be doctors and firefighters and police officers and stuff like that. And I just took to that production side. I didn't realize how complicated and rough the business was, but I knew that was what I wanted to do. So that's how I got started. And so I started from the ground with that, man. I took a cassette tape, and all I had was stereo. So I'd take the cassette tape and record from the microphone that was on that stereo, and then I would put that tape in the B side, and then give me another tape and record. So I done that, and that was very, 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 very terrible sounding, but but that's how I started, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, I know all about the terrible sound where, man, I can remember when I started singing with my dad and a lot of them. Um, man, before I started singing with them, I used to take old videos of them singing. And what I would do is I had a little microphone stand around my house, and I would set the microphone stand up, mimicking everything that they would do
That's
on
it.
those
That's right.
videos. So, and then it's like, then even after that, like I got a little tape recorder and I started recording myself singing some of their songs that they were saying. And now that I listen to some of them every once in a while, I'm like, oh God, the sound quality on that is horrible.
It was good for the time though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good for the time, but it's like now that you look back at it, it's like, okay, this can never make it out. This can never
Man.
make it out. So my next question to you would be, we know that you sang with the Canton Spirituals. How did that get started? Because singing with a legendary group like that is amazing within itself. So how did you get started with the Cantons?
It really just happened, man. Me and Mr. Harvey, Key, Wonderboy Johnson, um, all of us kind of had a close relationship as time progressed. We had a group, me and my brother and some of our friends here in Tupelo. Locally, we had a group determined, and we kind of stretched out and got some regional notoriety and whatnot. And I was also going with Gospel 4 every now and then. I was helping Mr. George out, and that just kind of all of that kind of groomed me in a way. to uh to stretch out some, and then we decided, we determined that we kind of pulled back on some things, and I was wide open, and we just me and Mr. Harvey got together and we made it happen, man. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, I'm glad to be doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Because getting to sing with a legend like that in a group of that stature, like, is it ever a moment even now? Because you've been singing with them for some years now.
Hmm.
But is there even ever a moment even now where you look on that stage and you're like, I'm really singing with the Canton Spirituals?
Most time, every night. But then, a lot of times just sitting around talking with them. A lot of these guys, all of those guys, really. Uh, I grew up watching them on TV, and
Hmm.
watching VHS videos of these guys. So just to be in a place where you can sit down and have breakfast and just sit and talk, to all of them. Harvey, George, Keith, Paul Porter, Bishop Neil Roberson, all those guys, and then the wealth of knowledge that they give you. You would never have you would never receive that kind of wisdom if you weren't around those people that been in the game. And
Right.
then it's just like, we've seen these guys all our lives from a distance, and then now we're able to just sit down and we just regular people to them.
Yeah.
So it does feel good, yeah.
So what did you always know that you wanted to be a singer? Is that what you always knew that you wanted to do?
I wanted to be a performer in some sense. I knew I was gonna do that, because starting out, I thought I was the baddest bass player you ever wanted to see. I mean, and I played, I practiced. I was determined to do that, and I don't know if I had stuck with it. Ain't no telling. I'd probably be playing somewhere else, but uh, we started singing and whatnot, and I've always sang too, but
Right.
I just knew I was destined for the stage.
I feel that. I feel that. So the new album, how did that come about? The new album, because that new album is just crazy. All the collaborations that you have on that album
I
is,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Uh,
So how did
it,
that come about?
it really just spurred a moment, I guess to say. The pandemic and all that was going on. Majority of those songs had already been recorded, and I don't know. Shaq, Shaq said, "Man, you need to cut some of these songs." We had a lot of those songs put together for an album that we were gonna put out that we never released, and instead of just releasing what we had, I felt like it'd been a good idea to go ahead and cut them live. And then as we start moving on in that, I was like, well, I might well just call and see if some of these guys want to feature on the stuff. Let's see if we can just have a big family reunion one weekend. So we couldn't get everybody, but we got a lot of them, and I think the project turned out well, and we just looking to push it, and hopefully we can touch some people with it. We can help somebody with it, encourage some people. I believe it's very inspirational. So
Oh, definitely. I I listened to that whole album. I can't find a single bad song on that whole album. I
well,
mean,
thank you.
yeah, that whole album is just great to me, if you ask me. But if you had to pick your favorite song that you have ever recorded or ever sung, what would it be?
That's a good question. I ain't never thought about that.
Because I know you've recorded a lot of songs and I know you've sung a lot of songs.
I
But what would
have.
be your favorite?
Well, I guess right now today, I probably would say, uh, just off the top of the iceberg, I'm just gonna go with "He Never Let Me Down." Is one of my favorites.
Definitely. Yeah, that one right there is just amazing. So y'all, we are not gonna go far. He is definitely gonna be right back with us. We're gonna take a quick, very quick commercial break. Y'all stay with us, and we will be right back. What is up, you all? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Spin Award nominated Real Talk Monday. We pray that you have been enjoying the show thus far. We'd ask that you please go listen to the podcast, which will drop on Tuesday at midnight. And also tune in next week as we have another great interview with another powerful guest. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social media. And if you have anything that you would like us to talk about on our show, or you want to be a guest on our show, you can also email us at realtalkmonday1@gmail.com. Be blessed. What is up, y'all? The Spin Award nominated Real Talk Monday officially has merch for sale. These t shirts right here, you can get them in any color that you want. Plus, they are only $20 for a small to a large. Extra large is $30, and then shipment is only $5 extra. Message me in my inbox to find out more information on how you can order your t shirt, and we will definitely get with you all. All right? Love y'all. Be blessed and be blessing to someone else. God bless. All right, all right, all right. We are back. We are back. We are back with my good friend, Mr. Josh Miles, the legendary Josh Miles. So, my next question to you would be, one of my favorite memories is watching Lee Williams' funeral service and watching the way that you totally ministered through song throughout that whole funeral service. How did you get to be a part of that, and what was that experience like for you?
Well, been around Lee a long time, man, and the
Right.
family as well. So when it when Lee passed, they gave me a call and they asked if I wanted to be a part, and of course I wouldn't couldn't decline that. Uh,
Mm.
last chance to pay your respects to somebody that was really uh, a great role model, and so I just knew we couldn't let Lee go out no less than as perfect as we could get it. So we just that whole weekend, everybody really just pitched in, got together, and did their thing, man. And nobody shortstop nowhere. We did what we had to do to make sure that we let the world know who Lee Williams was, how great of a person he was, how great his music was, and the impact that he's had uh, on so many.
Oh yeah.
And so just to be a part of that, to be able to do that was a blessing. And that's all I can really say, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that funeral service and listening to the way that you all sung those Lee Williams songs, and even the way that the band played those Lee Williams songs, you would have thought that it was actually Lee Williams' background singers that was actually singing on that at that funeral, or his own band that was playing, because he always just smooth with it.
Well, thank you, man. We did the best we could do. Everybody, like I say, it wasn't a whole lot of rehearsal. I mean, you don't just you can't be prepared when something like that happens.
Oh no.
But everybody got together. That's all I can really say is everybody got together. It's something about when we get together, when everybody is together on one accord, just like the day of Pentecost, then that sound can happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And people can say whatever they want to say about Quartet, but in all honesty, when one of our legends passes away, we come together to let the world know who that legend really was.
That's right.
I mean, I've watched it on many of occasions. I watched it with Lee Williams. I watched it with uh, Joe Lagan.
So yeah,
I watched by the time when Willie Neal passed away, social media really wasn't as big, but yeah, I mean, I watched that on so many occasions.
yeah, yeah. And that's what I think as time goes by, uh, the love is shown even greater, and I just I just appreciate everybody for pulling together, being a part of that. But we shouldn't let the pulling together happen just when somebody passed. We
No,
got to stay together. We got to. The only way this thing gonna continue to work is if we all together all the time.
that's what I love about you, Mr. Kadarius Price, and CC. You three are like the younger generation of Quartet, and you three are always together, and I love that.
Well, yeah. We work real close together, but I try to be that way with everybody,
Oh yeah,
and you can't be that way with everybody, but
right, right,
you
right.
try to be that way,
Yeah,
with as
yeah.
many as will allow or accept love.
Oh yeah, with that,
That's it.
without a doubt. So my next question to you is: I know with you being on the road with the Cantons a lot, I know you have to have a favorite Canton spiritual song. What would that be?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. That kind of question for me is it's very hard question because I'm a music nerd. I'm a music fanatic, and
Right.
so I don't really have a favorite artist. I don't really have a favorite song because I like so many artists and I like so
Yeah.
many songs. Uh, so I mean, it really like if I give you an answer, then I'm gonna be thinking later on, dog, I should have said that other song.
Right. There's just so many that you just can't pick one.
But really, honestly, uh, but I guess if I just had to pick one right
I'll
now,
make it better for you. I'll give you a top five. What is your top five Canton songs?
that's still hard.
You're like, you still making it hard on me.
That's still hard. But I guess of course, Hallelujah Square is
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. Uh, all of the slow cuts, man. Hallelujah
Oh,
Square. I
I'm in
mean,
your
look at
care.
that. Even memories. The when will I see you again? I made it. Depending on you. I mean, like I keep going on and on with the slow cuts. Songs like Searching, uh, When You Wake Up in the Morning. See, I go back on a lot of them old songs too.
Wow. See, I haven't heard when you wake up in the morning in a
Oh yeah.
while.
That's what I'm trying to see. I'm just saying. So when you ask me stuff like that, like
You
the
going
Cat
all the
Pick,
way back.
they got a large catalog, and
Oh yeah,
I done
yeah.
heard the whole catalog. So. Oh, and you know what? I ain't even heard the whole catalog because Harvey will pull out songs that I've never heard before that are Can Spiritual song. So, you know,
Yeah.
I just
So
have to
like
say
how
they
hard
got,
is it?
huh?
So how hard would it be like singing with a group of that caliber and not knowing like really what the fans really want to hear or anything like that? What is
Ask me that one more time.
like how do you like come up with your set list when you have like a caliber or a catalog that long? How do you come up with your set list for like a 30-minute set?
Well, now I don't have a catalog that long,
Hmm.
but when I watch Mr. Harvey do what he does, the one thing that I've come to learn, especially from him, Mr. George, and really all of the professionals
Mhm.
out here, is you're not going to be able to please everybody that's out there listening to you.
Right.
So what you can do is pull from, because if they paid their money, so they come to see you. So you pull from whatever it is that God has given you, or whatever it is that you feel at that time, and immerse yourself in it and give it to the people. And what comes from the heart is going to reach the heart. So that's one of the main things that I have come to learn, that it's not really about uh, maybe a certain song that somebody want to hear every time, but it's about taking whatever it is that you have, or that you feel, or that you have prepared to do, and immerse yourself in it and give that to the people.
Right. I feel that 100% understand that. So, how do you how do you manage the balance of being on the road, coming home? How do you manage that balance of being on the road and having your you time too, like making sure that you don't become exhausted?
I don't. I'm exhausted right now.
Yeah,
No, maybe we need to. Maybe I need to find somebody that can help me balance it a little better. But I'm learning a little bit better every day to balance more and more. But it's just a tough task, man. You can't predict what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I could write out a whole schedule for tomorrow of things I'm gonna do, and then wake up the next morning, and something is out of whack on this side, and you got to go fix that, or you got to do this or do that. So you can't really um, you can't really narrow down it all. But what you can do is do your best to work through what you got scheduled for the next day, or whatever. I mean, that work life balance thing is something that I'm still learning.
man. See, I was hoping you could give me some advice because I'm still trying to learn. It's like I'll get off from work. I'm working a 9 to 5 and come straight home and working on stuff that I need to do for like shows and stuff like that, or studying sermons. So it's like I still haven't learned that.
I just think and this is just my opinion, but I just think as you go, you get a little better at it. But the more, to whom much is given,
Much is
much
required.
is required.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, if you ain't exhausted, you ain't did nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you on that. 1000%. 1000%. I agree with you on that. So, my next question, I got two more for you. And the next one is, we know that you have collabed with a lot of people on your show, on your songs and everything like that. But who is one collaboration that you haven't done yet that you always wanted to do? What is one?
One collaboration I always wanted to do, and I haven't done with somebody that's still living.
Living or dead? We'll do living first and then dead.
Well, I don't know. I guess me and Harvey ain't did no song together.
Right, right,
And
right.
majority of them I have done, and a lot of the ones that I haven't, I kind of got in the works to do. So hopefully you may see some collaboration with me and a few others. Uh, but I always, I always just wanted to shake Willie Neal Johnson's hand. Number one,
Man,
uh, Ira Tucker. See, I keep calling names out. So go ahead,
man.
man.
Willie Neal Johnson was one of my favorites growing up. I
Oh yeah,
absolutely loved him. The country boy.
oh yeah. It ain't get no better than Willie.
Oh no, 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 no. I watched a video, an old YouTube video of Willie Neal where he his background singers didn't show up. It was his band and him. He put the mic on his band and his band sounded just as good as the regular background singers. I'm like, how did he?
It's part of it, man.
Yeah. So, last question for you on the night before we close out, and we thank you so much for being on here with us. For
Thank you.
y'all that don't know, this man right here is always busy. Literally, he probably just got home what a few hours ago from being on the road.
Early this morning.
Yeah, and he still came on here to do this interview with us. So we really appreciate him for that. So the last question that I have for you would be, what advice would you give somebody that is out here that is trying to do or that has aspirations for wanting to be out here on the road or something like that? What advice would you give them?
Uh, well, just stay with it. Um, find out all you can, learn all you can, and it's work hard. But at the end of the day, it's not always about how hard you work, as opposed to uh, how smart you work. Remember that diligent work is not just hard work, but it's finding out the right thing to do as opposed to just doing something good.
Mm, that's real. That's a good advice. That's some good advice. We thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Tell our followers where they can find you at on social media.
Uh, you can subscribe to Miles House Music. Matter of fact, we hope you would subscribe to Miles House Music.
Yes.
That's youtube.com/ MYLESHOUSEMUSIC. Miles House Music. And on YouTube. Hey, you can follow me on Facebook. Just type in Josh Miles. You'll see me with my hat on. Or you can follow me on Instagram. I am Josh Miles, and
We lost him for a quick second. Hopefully okay.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Snapchat at I am Josh Miles, and TikTok too, I think. Yeah, TikTok. I am Josh Miles.
All right. So y'all definitely follow him. Go get with him. Definitely buy his new album, which that album, like I said, is a blessing to me. And once again, the name of that album is I'm actually gonna give y'all the name of that album right now for y'all. And that album's name is looking it up right now to make sure I don't say it wrong. All right, got it right here. The name of that album is Never Let Me Down. Y'all definitely go download and buy that album. Download and buy
We
that
greatly
album.
appreciate that. Stream it, stream it, stream it, stream it.
Yes, please make sure y'all do that. And as I always say as we close out, sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we look at as bad, God is only turning it around for our good. Stay blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. And we will see y'all next week. Love y'all. Peace.
Thank you for watching Real Talk Monday. We pray that you enjoyed today's episode. Please make sure to like and follow our Facebook page for further updates. Also, make sure that you listen to the podcast that drops tomorrow at midnight on all major podcast stations. You can follow us at any of our social media accounts. For Instagram, it's at Real Talk Monday. For TikTok, Real Talk Monday. For Clubhouse, you can find us at Real Talk Monday. For YouTube, it's Reverend JHG3 Ministry. And if you have any topic that you would like us to discuss, or you would like to sit down with us for an interview, email us today at a realtalkmonday1@gmail.com.